You're live!
Not that standpoint.
Oh, we didn't push the chairs back.
That's all right. We're good for tonight.
Okay.
Hello, Patriots. Welcome to Fed Up with Politics. He's Jack. I'm Dennis. And let's stand for a pledge of allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Get back into the
This show is live every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time right here on YouTube, and also live on our Facebook page called the United States Constitutional Group. If you're a fan of Facebook, please join us there. And please invite your family and friends to watch and get involved with us. We need Patriots to stand united with us. Jack, welcome back. You haven't been here in like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Well, who's counting?
Who can? What do you have in store for us tonight?
First of all, everything I just said is on here too, fedupwithpolitics.com. You get all the podcasts and live shows that aren't live anymore because they're on the website.
That's right.
But you can get them and you can watch the whole history of them. What the hell were we saying?
What were we saying? We're talking about.
Oh, we were talking about. Oh, that's right. Woo!
First
This
thing going
was
on.
almost, this was almost a real short show.
And thank you very much.
I'm like Fetterman. All right, that's right. I was saying we got the book cover is done. Design team is finished.
Politicians gaslighting Americans.
The cover came out great. It's got a very subtle message, but it's there. And if you look at it, you'll be like, that's fitting. It's a real good cover. I'm not gonna tell you what it is because I'm not telling.
Surprise.
And you can't make me. So, but it's nice. It's good. So hopefully, well, that part's done, and hopefully it comes out.
I think it'll be out in the next 2.5 months.
Really, that long?
You know, but Jack and I approved the cover page. They already have it, and they're moving forward. Now they're moving it to design and to the inside of the book.
And
we've been using Dorrance Publishing, and they've been doing a great job. They keep in touch with you. You know, so if you ever plan on writing a book, stop by them. Stop by their website and talk with them before you go someplace else. But I can tell you this, Jack. Seeing her name on the front cover, not something I thought I would ever see.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
So I think I'm pretty excited about this.
Yeah,
And I'm sure you are too.
yeah, I'm ready. And we got a second book getting ready.
Yep.
Dennis texted me the topics for the second book on my phone that was broke at the time. It was in the shop. So the guy fixing my phone.
Your phone isn't broke now, is it?
It's off and on. I got the list here.
But these, you can go through them while you're looking it up. But these books are actually by the people, for the people. Those folks who are fed up with the way our country is going. And Jack's going to talk about the second book. And we've actually started writing it. Again, it's going to be great work because we're looking for your help. If you want to be part of the book, please reach out to us on our website. Jack already mentioned it. Or email us, uscg20211 at AOL.com. We're going to ask questions on Facebook like we did to the first book. And we'll do one topic at a time, every week we'll do a new topic. But we appreciate everyone that listens to our show. We're slowly growing, but we can get bigger with your help. Got the books?
Yeah, I got the topics. So here's number one: corruptness amongst politicians. What constitutes tyranny? So that we could probably 100-page chapter on that one. Nationalism and sectionalism and patriotism. And I tell you, there is a big line in the sand between nationalism and sectionalism, which, it doesn't sound like much, but once the debates start going back and forth and people start really understanding what that is, it's a big deal. Drug epidemic in the USA with open borders, that's always a nightmare. Socialism in America, which goes hand in hand with sectionalism. I'm going to talk a little bit of that. These little small parts of socialism that are actually coming into society right now. assault on police officers with lack of politician support. Should the military take over this government and hold new elections and try these current politicians as with treason? I don't know. Classified documents, Gate, Trump, Pence, Biden. I think we can hit every other president that ever walked the planet Earth.
Oh, I'm sure we could.
Gun violence and active shooters in America, which they think the Supreme Court came down with a ruling this week on the Second Amendment. Some guy in, I think it was Pennsylvania, I'm not sure, was involved in 4 or 5 shootings, shots fired. He actually did shoot a few people. Just a minute, Jack. And they arrested him, and his biggest charge there, one of his charges there was that he had those guns there against him, so they say he shouldn't have it. Go ahead, Jack.
One, are these topics from the past podcast or Facebook issues?
Both.
Both?
Yes. World War III and nuclear annihilation. That should be a sweetheart. Federal control of our public schools, which I tell you the truth, that was a very big debate when the founding fathers were writing the Constitution, and that debate went on for a long time. If there should be a national school, I think they were thinking a college level, but they ended up voting no. And when we get that and we start doing it, there's a lot on that about the founding fathers talking about a national school.
The way the government finances these colleges, aren't they almost federal colleges anyway? I mean, they pretty much get their point through, or you lose your money.
Yes. Actually, there's one school that doesn't take any government money, and they had to go to court for it to win, and that's Hillsdale College.
Yeah.
They take 0 federal money. Federal control of, we did that one. Unfortunately, why this government will win? Poverty in America, gang in the USA, protest movements, and social movements. That's the one I'm going to start off with.
They only win if we don't act.
That's true.
Right.
Oh, that's not in my list.
Be creative.
Sorry.
Yeah, be creative.
Listen, I'm very direct when I read.
See that?
But yeah, that's what I'm actually going to start off with. This social movement, why it's very scary right now. Number 13, unlucky 13. We should have went right to 14. Are civil wars a failure of politicians? Does revolution cause harm or good? I mean, it's harm, I believe. But on the same case, it is totally the politicians' fault for not being able to legislate the right way. Is fear a practical instrument for control? It's the number one tactic, I believe, for control.
Oh, absolutely.
And every tyrant that walked the earth ever does that.
Good topic, Sam.
Yeah. One more. Succession, divided country. Again, history repeats itself so much, right? We had a guy, a house divided cannot stand, so.
I have the book right here in front of us, Jack. I put it as my screensaver.
Did you? Oh, don't let everybody have it.
I'm not.
No, I was gonna say.
I'm only showing it to a couple people. But I don't know. It looks good.
It's perfect.
It does. It looks really
It
good.
fits the topic that we're going to be talking about.
Yeah.
It looks really
Yeah,
good.
it does look good.
That design guy.
Every
that really
topic
read
in
the
that,
book.
every topic in that we cover that book refers to that.
They're talking about the fear, and that's exactly what they're doing with the FBI and the IRS.
Yeah,
Yes.
weaponizing them against us. Yeah.
Mhm.
And like you were saying, they might be going to like the Pence and saying, we got some stuff on you. If you don't behave, we might arrest you. Wanna go
They're not
through what
saying
Trump-
that. They're saying they're definitely going.
Yeah, you
They're
wanna-
scaring everybody.
Yeah, they're scaring people.
So when you watch this show, watch any of our shows, send it out to people you know, everyone you know. Together we can build a huge network of patriots that can help change America. This country needs change. We can't do it individually. We need patriots for this difficult journey. Because one at a time, at one time in this country, citizens could choose what they wanted. The car they wanted, the houses, the luxuries like boats, motorcycles, RVs. What else?
Anything you want.
Anything you wanted. But today, More than ever, it seems like our choices are being destroyed by these tyrannical politicians.
There's another group that makes choices for them, for everything, and that's the mafia. They want to buy a car. They get told where to buy the car, how much to spend, what color they're allowed. And there's another place that's not allowed to have a lot of stuff. I went there, and
Cuba,
drove down this beautiful ocean highway. Not one pleasure boat out there. Beautiful parks with 17th century fountains in it, no water in it, and no people in the park.
That's sad. Very sad.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not just the Democratic Party that's screwing us. It's the Republican Party as well. Since, as Jack likes to call these politicians today, they're under a uniparty. They don't care about anyone but themselves. Jack will get into more of that in a minute. You really can't distinguish between them anymore. They all seem to be taking away our choice here in America. I mean, y'all know I'm right. I mean, just admit it. Your choice is limited nowadays. When I was a kid, my parents had choices, and people listened to them. In the 50s and 60s, but when I was being raised in the 70s, they still had choice. I remember when I was a kid in high school, I couldn't get this teacher. I didn't think I was being taught well. I mean, I wasn't the best of students, but I didn't understand anything he did. So my mother came into school and sat in his classroom, and then she decided that I needed to find another teacher. She went to the principal, had me change to another class with someone else because we had the choice back then. If a parent tried to do that today, they most likely would be labeled a pain in the ass or even a domestic terrorist for questioning the school system.
That would be just requesting to go sit in that classroom during a class.
Would never happen.
Would never happen today. You're right. That's because the government. Go ahead, Mike.
They would see what their children were being taught.
Yep.
They can't allow that to happen. They made that mistake during COVID when people walked by the laptop and said, "What? What did she say?"
Yep. That's because the government of today, they don't want you involved with your kids because the way they indoctrinate them today, it's the way they see it, not you. Biden even said, our nation's children are all our children.
Yep. He said they're not your children, they're our children.
Fact check. No, they're still our kids. And we will dictate what they learn, not this government. And things aren't going good right now. So parents need to get involved and say no more. That's what we can offer as a united front. Helping parents, helping families, helping each other out to put an end to this indoctrination. Put an end to this choice that they refuse to give us. We want choice here in America. These politicians are so out of touch with reality that it scares the hell out of me. I mean, what are they planning next to do? I mean, look at what we have in Congress today. We have admitted socialists at the AOC.
A couple of them.
Yeah,
Squad.
we got a whole squad full of them.
Bernie Sanders.
The leader.
We have parties trying to destroy each other instead of working for the people. They've even come out and said, we work for them. They just want to spend our taxes. And we'll get into that in a second with the debt. But how can we win? We win by standing together. We have politicians trying to take away your choice of buying a gas vehicle. They demand that we buy electric vehicles, and they're pushing every day to go that route.
New York got rid of gas stoves.
Did they?
Can't cook and pick a pizza on a gas stove.
It's ridiculous. Listen, folks, if you want an electric car, go out and get one. That's your choice in America. But if you want a gas vehicle, that's your right. That's your choice. Get what the heck you want. However, today, Politicians only want you to buy electric vehicles, taking away our choice again. If you're a fan of renewable energy, that is great. It's your right, your choice. Well, don't take away my right, Jack's right, to choose to own a gas-powered vehicle. We don't want to be driving down the road and going on a long vacation and have to stop for, half hour?
Half hour.
To plug your car in. You know what they want? What do these politicians want? We live in Myrtle Beach. Georgetown's the next big, well, pretty big. We'll use Charleston. Charleston's 2 hours away. They want you to leave Myrtle Beach, go to Charleston for your vacation, and go back home.
Yep.
They don't want you on long trips. They don't want you seeing family members anymore.
Nope.
They say you shouldn't have moved away from them. Well, again, it's my choice to move where I want to move.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
now,
But if you go around, you might hear different ideas.
did you, talking about choices, another choice that they're trying very hard to get rid of is your choice of eating meat.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I would never.
Because that's bad for the environment.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up that, these animals was great fertilizer for our food. Now,
We've been doing this
now
for
they're killing the world.
thousands of years, and all of a sudden now they're not good for us.
First, you weren't allowed to eat them because it was cruel on a planet because they're cruel.
Yeah. And also, did you hear there's a couple of states, I know definitely Utah, a tax now according to how far you drive because they're losing gas revenue taxes because of better mileage and the electric cars. Is that unbelievable?
That's what Buttigieg wants. He wants that nationally.
Yeah. Well, there's actual states that have signed off on it.
Ridiculous.
And Utah is one of them.
Those people need to revolt. That's what we need to revolt for.
Mm.
Dumb shit like that. America has always been about choice, but it's not so anymore. So what do we need? Politicians who believe in choice for our citizens, not the current tyrants we have. Those who work to strengthen renewable energy, still believe in what we have now, tried and tested and true. Gas, coal. Hey, renewable energy ain't gonna work during a war,
No.
Doesn't work in the wintertime for Texas.
right? People froze almost.
Yeah. Some people died.
Yeah. And the buildings were destroyed with all the pipes that broke.
I mean, they don't want you to go anywhere in your car. They got this electric, there's other good energy out there, the hydrogen car, but their plea to that is, the hydrogen explodes. Well,
So do electric cars.
gasoline explodes too. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, the Chevy pickup truck C10 got recalled because every time it got T-boned, the gas tank was in between the cab and the bed. The truck blew up. So yeah, gasoline blows up too.
Batteries are
Batteries go on fire.
We need trusted ways of energy, but we also believe that renewable energy may be good in the future.
Maybe.
Be good in 20, 30 years when it gets better.
Yeah,
But
but
you
right
don't
now,
throw away anything that you have now just to go over that when it's not tried and tested.
And it's not good.
it's not 100%.
But the electric car is terrible for the environment. For them to make those batteries, they're destroying the planet.
Yes.
And that's not even considering getting rid of these cars now.
Right.
What do you do with that battery that never stops emanating energy?
Yep.
Just like your little toy battery in your toy, when you left it in there too long, you popped it open, it was all white stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. Now you're talking about a car battery.
And the windmills, when they break down, those aren't recyclable.
No.
They don't know what to do with them.
And they're killing wildlife every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whales are flying, swimming up on shore. Well, that's the world, right? Whales are now trying to walk, and people are trying to get rid of animals.
Yeah.
As citizens of this one great country, we need to let politicians know that America has always been about choice, and it needs to stay that way. Mike, what are your thoughts?
I agree. I mean, we are losing choices. Like, and I literally heard a news report where they're testing restaurants selling bugs to get rid of meat. Another choice that you're not going to get. What about the housing? I brought this up to Jack. If you have a family of 4, is that the only way you're allowed to get a 2-3 bedroom house? If you're a single couple, do they tell you from now on you're only allowed to have a 1 bedroom? Are they going to dictate to you what size house you are allowed to buy?
I wouldn't put it past them down the road.
Listen, as sectionalism goes, because sectionalism comes before socialism, which comes before communism or dictatorship. But
Sectionalism.
Sectionalism-
Racism.
when they get rid of that and they get it all separated, and everybody's in a small enough group where they could just squash you like a
Which
bug.
they've been doing for
Yes.
years.
Get it done.
So you think that's a possibility?
If we keep sleeping at the switch here, yeah. I mean, these guys are doing whatever they want, Mike. I mean, look at what's going on in our society. You know, there is a 2-tiered system in DC, and there's a guaranteed two-tier system in regular life for regular folks like us. And I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's all the beginnings of sectionalism and socialism, and it's social law, social rule, instead of individual rights. So when you see Antifa or these other animals out there rioting and causing assaults and murders and burning buildings down with arson and destroying government property and private property, and they don't get charged, you sit there at home and you say, why are they not being charged? Because that's social justice. So what they do is they break everybody up into a little social group that they belong to. So these idiots that did all of that rioting, well, that's their social group. So, you know, that social group really can't be charged with that crime because that's what's expected of them. That's what they do. So they're replacing individual rights with social justice. So now your law of the land is not fair and equal. It's social justice. So what this social is different than this social group, and until then they squash everybody. Now they take, because everybody's an enemy of everybody, and everybody is at a different standard.
And we need rules and order now. So we're going to step in
Right.
and take
Now,
over.
this social justice has gotten too far, so the government is going to take care of this, and we're going to squash everything.
Right.
So that's, when you sit there, I mean, we have this guy, Penny, just got indicted, and he had to plead innocent to choking a guy out on a subway that was threatening everybody on the train. Either the day before or the day after, there was another guy stabbed and killed a guy on a train doing the same thing in Brooklyn. He's off. So what's the difference? The difference is in New York, every county has their own district attorney. Well, in the 5 boroughs of New York City, every borough has their own district attorney. So the district attorney in Manhattan is Bragg, who has this social justice mentality where this man is a homeless, mental issues, and narcotic issues. So he's allowed to act that way.
Yeah, his right.
Your social, this guy Penny, no, you're not allowed to do that because your social group is not supposed to act that way. You're supposed to act just take what he's doing because you expect that from him. Sit there and take it until you get to your stop or a stop, get off and leave. Apparently the DEA in Brooklyn, you know, in state law, you're allowed to defend yourself on that. And they said, no, we're not going to do it. You're off. See you later. But this is going to be.
Who failed that guy?
Huh?
You know who failed that homeless guy? New York State.
Yeah. By leaving him out there.
Manhattan failed him.
Yeah. By letting him stay out in the street, instead of giving him resources and programs to make themselves better, which was there.
Yeah.
Homelessness was very, very low in the city,
Yep.
You know, in the early 2000s. And now it's rampant.
But now they could get free crack pipe, so
Yeah.
have that.
So I can
And
see a lot
also
of,
their education, the schools are teaching kids their social agendas. There's no social studies, science, math, or English.
right. So we see a lot of like a lot of destruction in the world today from these politicians. And you hear like Russia, China want to take over the world and use nuclear weapons against all these countries, the UK, Australia, the United States.
Mhm.
I think there's only one being that knows when the world's going to end. I think that's God. I do believe that. But isn't there something in the Bible that says that stuff like's going on?
Yeah.
It's like accelerating faster and faster.
Yeah. Oh, I believe it is. Let's go to Matthew 24.
Hold on, folks. He's only got 5,000 pages to go through.
Matthew
Yeah.
24, starting on verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. No, that's not going around. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquake in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows.
And what do we see every day in the news? What do we hear?
Yeah.
Russia, China,
Ukraine,
Iran, North Korea. I mean, they're saying within the first day of a nuclear war, 100 million people will lose their lives. 100 million people. With that radiation fallout, millions more are going to be injured. Talk about famine.
Famine, diseases, homelessness.
I think I'd rather be dead at that time.
Yeah, I'm hoping I'm more part of the 100 million. God forbid any of this happens. But listen, there's still an option, and that's educate yourself. Knowledge is power, like Dennis always says. Get involved in all the groups that you can get involved in your neighborhood and listen to your neighbors. Get involved in the history books, older ones. Don't read the new corrupt ones. I mean, me and Dennis have an old book.
It's an awesome
It
book.
was written, the second edition was done in 1963. So,
United States Constitution, its origin and developments.
Yeah. Read the Constitution itself and the Declaration. I say, if you read the Declaration of Independence first and understand what's being said there, it will automatically it will be in your blood to have to go read the Constitution. And when you're done with that, you're going to want to read the Federalist Papers and the Anti-Federalist Papers and this other book. I always forget the name of it.
U.S. Constitution.
No. And its origins.
Its origins and development.
Yeah.
And the Bible.
And the Bible. You're right.
And the Bible.
That's the second time I forgot that.
These are very important documents. First of all, you read all three of those, and you will start saying, I got to take more interest in getting the right people in office. Because you will see how badly these politicians are treating us.
Yeah, they're false gods, folks. Don't listen to them.
Yeah, like that guy said 40 years ago, our Father who art in D.C.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to
Well, they do
Paul
think
Harvey.
they're gods.
Listen to Paul Harvey and the devil.
That's Paul Harvey, yeah.
The devil. Well, I forgot the name of it.
And that was no kind of conservative, Paul Harvey.
Hell of a journalist.
Mm.
So, Jack, what else you got?
So I was watching the news, and they're talking about all of this money coming into the Bidens, 5 million, 10 million, who knows how many millions from China. It's China this and Ukraine that. And then I'm sitting there thinking, I'm going, you know what? This government is passing a lot of bills. Now, the Republicans run the House, and they're still signing off on bills for these hundreds of millions, hundreds of billions, just flying out the door to these different things. instead of putting tariffs against these guys that they're saying is so bad. And then I started thinking, there was a politician, I think it was Hillary Clinton, had said that she felt that the taxpayers should pay, or maybe it was AOC, should pay for the campaigns. And then I'm thinking to myself, you know what? This is a uniparty. All of these things are going through there. And what's going on? So then you think about it. And he was sending something like $600 million to some Silicon Valley thing. And I'm thinking, you know what's going to happen? They get that $600 million. Biden gets $100 million back for his campaign. The Republicans get $100 million to get all of their campaigns done. Democrats get theirs. So now they're only down to $300 million, and they gave it back. Listen, these bills are going up. Why? All of a sudden, again, Ukraine is getting hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars of tax dollars. Nobody knows where any of this is. Why is that for? Because Ukraine's been paying U.S. politicians, because U.S. politicians have been saying, listen, you got to be careful with that country. They're corrupt. Well, I think it takes one to know one, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, is this hey, you got to watch that country over there. They're corrupt. Wink, wink. And then they continue on sending this money over there. Oh, we hate doing that. And that's it. They don't go like nobody goes, no, we hate doing this. No, I vote no. No, they keep sending the money. Why? Why does this money go to all of these places? Because it all comes back to these politicians in campaign contributions. So the politicians are using tax dollars to run their campaigns, maybe not individually, and that's why the Bidens are getting caught. But as parties, they are definitely. These lobbyists are going and meeting with these people, giving them vacations personally, giving them investment advice personally, giving them money to invest in their investment policies personally. Why are they doing this? Why do they accept it? Because that's what's paying for their campaigns and everything else they have. So when you sit there and you see these bills flying out the door and you think the Republicans are standing up for you, or you think you're Democrats or your kind of people, understand they are stealing your tax dollars, giving them sometimes to our enemies, the United States enemies, where your family members are going into the service and dying over there to fight against these enemies, are receiving your tax dollars so these politicians can get reelected. These people will never leave Washington, D.C. They proved they're never going to leave Washington, D.C. because they are living the greatest life you can live on our dollar.
Because you keep on pulling them back in year after year.
Well, with that,
Lindsey Graham, he's been in there for what, 24 years?
Yep.
Clyburn, how long has he been in there for?
Forever. They've all been in there forever. I mean, the President of the United States has been in office since I'm in kindergarten.
People should be outraged with this.
So if you think that your tax dollars aren't paying for their campaigns
And their corruption.
and listen, it's all that. Listen, again, Adam Schiff, they put a measure out to censure him. 20 Republicans vote no. We're not doing it because he's going to get a $16 million fine. So those 20 Republicans and all of the Democrats that voted no, why would you vote no to that? This man has cost us probably around $45 million in tax dollar payments on his lies on TV to destroy a guy that kicked the apple cart for both sides of the aisle and almost made them all have to really go to work for a living. And they said no to the censor. This was another thing that kind of got me. So why did you say no? And you know what this was their honest answer. God to honest what they were saying. Well, if the Democrats win the House, they may be able to do that to us. So what you're telling me, 20 Republicans and all the Democrats, is that you're a liar just like Adam Schiff. Because if you're not the same guy as Adam Schiff, right?
Yeah, so they're planning on another liar on the other side coming in.
Right, and getting me in trouble for lying. And I told you, I said this when the guy got elected. That guy that got elected to the House from New York, that was all his lies. His biggest crime wasn't lying, was telling people I lied.
Yeah.
That was his biggest sin in D.C. You admitted that you lied? We got to get you thrown out of here. And that's why this guy, not because he lied, but because he admitted to lying.
Right.
So then Adam Schiff, they send another one down. He got censored, and he's going to have to stand in front of the House and blah, 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 blah. And everybody's, again, sticks and stones may hit my bones, but names will never harm me. He's going to sit there like, yeah, talk to my ass, my head hurts. You can insult me all you want. I still got what I got. And still, 6 Republicans didn't vote for it. They voted not present. If this is not a uniparty collecting money all from the same place to do their campaigns and work together, make sure everybody gets a free cut. Everybody got the same cut? Okay, let's go sell it to the dummies. You know who the dummy is? We are.
Yep. Our current politicians are heading this country towards bankruptcy.
Yes.
Financial collapse. And all we do as citizens sit back and wait for it to happen.
Dennis has numbers. And before he throws these big numbers at you, I just want to give you one little number. Bidenomics, our new favorite word from dummy. What's it? President forget a lot.
Yeah, forget a lot.
Yeah. So he's been going on making this whole new thing, bottom up, center out. I don't know what that means. I don't never see money come from the bottom and go up or from the center and out. It's always come from the top to the bottom and overflowed out this way. And he's saying how everybody's income is growing. Well, the second quarter numbers came out, and income has fallen by 3.9% in the second quarter. It's fallen 26 months straight, your income. Now, thank God, inflation and interest rates has kind of leveled off. But is that going to stay that way?
I doubt it.
I don't know. Let me check my crystal ball.
See, gas prices go up and down.
Oh, mighty Pelosi.
Gas prices go up and down like the weather.
Yeah.
But I want to know, when are we the people going to get off our lazy asses and say we're done with this political mockery? It's actually fucking funny to look at.
Yeah.
People are just
Bleep them out.
Yep.
Live show.
So I found this yesterday.
We don't have a 10-second. We don't have a 10-second. What is it? Delay.
So I found this yesterday in the Associated Press called U.S. public debt is projected to reach 181% of American activity in 30 years.
So explain what the American activity is.
It's everything we do, basically.
So it's
all the money
for
programs.
America. Yeah, for their programs, because we don't get any of them. Well, Mike gets Social Security.
He's that old.
He is.
He's ancient.
I got another brother going to be getting Social Security this year.
That's right, folks.
Next year.
In 2053, we are screwed. But who cares? Most of us likely won't be around. This came from the Congressional Budget Office. The nonpartisan agency, is what it's supposed to be, estimates in its latest 30-year outlook, which was released yesterday, that publicly held debt will be equal to a record 181% of American economic activity by 2053. That compares with the projected 98% at the end of this budget year. A sign that government is getting more dependent on debt to pay Social Security, Medicare, the military, infrastructure, and an array of programs that benefits millions of households.
So what happens? You know what I'm saying? Is it like what you and I said, where they don't care because they're not going to pay domestic debts?
Yeah, but it's got to come due. So it's got to be paid someday. Who's going to pay it?
Nobody.
It's not going to be us.
No, because what's going to happen is we lose everything. They have everything, and now there's no more bill.
Our grandchildren are screwed because of these lazy do-nothing politicians of today.
That's true.
There's something in the Bible. I forget the name of it. And I think it was every 50 years.
Yeah, they Jubilee. It's a book of Leviticus.
Leviticus.
The book of Leviticus. Every 50 years they have a Jubilee where they get rid of all of that. But I don't know if they can get rid of that much debt. That would be a miracle.
The funny part is, our generation sits on our asses.
Yeah.
We do nothing about it, but we keep voting the same clowns in. You know, these political clowns, tyrants, morons, a-holes, false gods.
Yeah.
They're not the solution.
They're the problem.
Right, they're the problem. Open your eyes. Realize that. Understand it. They don't give a damn. So we're just going to let our grandkids and their kids deal with this mess. And if you think like that, you're part of the problem.
Yeah.
You're just as bad as these politicians. Why should we let them pay for our debt? It's not only wrong, but ridiculous. It's time to reel in the debt today to ensure our next generation enjoys all the freedoms we had that are slowly being taken away. We must fight for our freedom now, too. You know this. We all know this. This isn't something we were blindsided with. Just didn't come up yesterday. We've been seeing this for years and years. And we've ignored it. We can't ignore it anymore. We have to get united. The time of the Republican Party and Democratic parties are coming to an end. We don't want them anymore. It's time for new minor parties to lead the way. 62% of folks say it's time for a new party, including 63% of Republicans. And I ask all the time, Jack, what has Republicans done for us? Nothing. What have Democrats done for the black community? Nothing. False hope, false gods again. Jack and I are starting a party in South Carolina called the Independent Constitutional Party. Right here in South Carolina. Starting a minor party that people want. You know, can't be scared anymore. We got to get out there because we're fed up with the two-party rule. It's time for a new party that represents the people and knows that citizens allow us to represent them. The great part about this new party is we all have a say. People of America have a say. We have a choice to make this reality. Do you have the courage to stand up against these two dysfunctional parties? Do you have what it takes to be a leader? Or do you want to just be a follower? Like those that are brainwashed by listening to MSN, mainstream media, such as CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, The View.
God, View, I watch that.
You know?
That can't be considered a news.
It is.
They consider that news?
They consider it news.
Wow.
This is what I mean when I say patriot. Be the one that leads people. Don't be a sheep and follow the crowd. Don't be a sheeple, Mike. That will get you slaughtered.
Whoa.
Oh, man.
We need to be hawks. We need to be lions. Stop being donkeys and elephants.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Donkey and an elephant. I mean, I tell you what, that might be good.
An ass and an elephant
Yeah.
as our as our logos.
Yeah.
You know? Be the one to help bring America back to where it should be. A world leader of dominance. Being the one. Be that one to help bring change to a struggling nation. Because we're struggling right now. Mike, Jack, what are your thoughts on that?
I think we're in big trouble.
Yeah. Well,
Unless we do something.
there can be a change. And, you know, we have a game plan. And we're going to set it out. You know, and this country was built on David and Goliath. You know, yeah,
Christian values.
we could be small. We could be a minor party. But if we get all the minor parties together across this country and start helping each other get on the ballots, and now you have millions of people that are under one umbrella dominating minor parties against two do-nothing, corrupt to the end. Listen, if you start going in your own state and build your minor party like a microbrewery and just get everything going on in your state, maybe we should start passing some state laws. Like, listen, state law number 1, our federal representatives and senators are not allowed to collect money, accept money outside of the state that they're running in or the district they're running for. And if you're caught doing it, you're going to be censured by the state and taken off the ballot when your re-election comes. How about that for a state law? And we can change that with minor parties uniting together under one umbrella, not the same thoughts, not the same platforms, but helping each other to get onto these ballots and start getting into the face of these two major parties that have ruined the politics of this government. It is not running. It is not functioning.
People think it's going to take, lots of representatives. It's going to take like between 5 and 10 in the Senate,
Yeah,
and we need about 50 in Congress.
Yeah,
to make it work.
So
and we can do it. We can do this. I know we can.
Yeah.
You get rid of the cash register, maybe it won't be worth their while to run again.
Yeah.
Because these politicians we have right now are not for this country.
If you run your state minor parties with everybody's help, with all the other minor parties help with you to get you on these state ballots, and you start passing stuff like that, where you're not allowed to collect money as a federal office holder from anybody but your district and your state you're running from, or you're going to be, you're going to be sanctioned through the state and taken off the ballot. If you start making it just as hard for the Democrat and the Republicans to get on your ballot for federal or state, whatever office it is, whatever a minor party has to do, well, guess what? You do too, buddy. The free train ride is over.
Yeah. Right. And these will be people running for office that want to make a change, not.
So that way, when Lindsey Graham comes to the South Carolina and says, "I have $100 million in my chest so I can start campaigning," you little peon. Well, state law says, pal, send that back to the treasury of the country because you're not allowed to use it in this campaign anymore. Yeah. Goodbye.
Yep. So we're just about finished tonight. Thank you for listening.
Mike, say the prayer.
Yeah, you're good.
You're good. We ready for the prayer?
Come on, man.
All right, Psalm 145:8. The Lord is gracious and full of compassion, slow to anger, and of great mercy. Let's pray. Please, Lord, bless and protect this new party, this podcast, and all that work on it and all that listen to it. Lord, please have mercy on this nation and have our leaders do your will. Oh, Lord, how we wish we too were slow to anger. We confess we're too quick to say harsh words or hand out a very strong disapproval. If you treated us the way we sometimes treat others, we would be in deep trouble. How glad are we that compassion and graciousness are the hallmarks of your attitude toward us. Help us to have that attitude toward others. Lord, take this anger from us and make us more like you. Increase the flow of mercy in our life. We want to be like you, Lord. We pray this in Jesus' precious name. Amen.
Amen. We're here every Thursday night, 7 o'clock. We look forward to seeing you next week. Enjoy your holiday weekend, your holiday week.
Be safe.
Happy 4th of July.
And as we always say, do your own research. Find out the answers you need to hear. Because like Jack said earlier, knowledge is power. Have a good week.
Good show.
We had 4 viewers.